saying to these people, to Tashi McCauley, you either tell us what, because of course it's not public, you either tell us what you knew, or we're going to go after you in a class action suit.
It's
Whatever.
It's unique. If you read it in a book, you'd be like, this is not this author.
No, you wouldn't. It wouldn't work.
Yeah, it wouldn't work.
I mean, I don't know what
no
kind of
would do that.
What? Who?
No, I'm saying you'd say no board would ever do that without a plan.
No, I mean, I have read almost every Stephen King book. Nothing like that. Stephen King would say it's just impossible. He's just much too factual. He would say, I can't do this. Preposterous that you would have all these people, Adam D'Angelo. I mean, the non-employees. What did they hear?
Well,
what did they
hear? It says that he's back in the company, and then I was like, all right.
What did they hear?
Don't forget the last 4
years. Okay, so Helen Toner goes home. And she says, you know what?
Ooh.
We just fired the most important guy, but you know what? We did it for nothing. We should not do it. Well, the do-over. How about the do-over with Ilya? Hey, how about a do-over? I mean, what do these people do? That's why I say the very rich are different from you and I. The very rich do whatever the hell they want. These people are very rich. They don't work for anybody, and she's still. Will you stop?
These are the very rich.
They're very
Helen Toner?
They work for these companies. They're not paupers. They don't play by the rules.
You're taking another step here that I'm
saying that they don't play by the rules. Here they fire the guy, as Carl just said. And we all just say, okay, that's fine. Where else have we ever allowed behavior? We fire someone Friday at 4 o'clock. You put out a statement that basically says he's a lying son of a bitch. And then you say, hey, you know what?
Yo, juju.
And then the devil says, my chance to get this guy. Wow, David, let's say you lied.
What it do? What it do?
At the end of the day, I say to you, he's very valuable. I say, don't release him. But it's just pay him. Big hard pass on that. We got to keep favor.
Okay.
No, but it's not happening
about the black suit today.
For example, this is the truth. Okay, so it's too tight, first of all. But David,
I like the tight. I like the fact that you have suits that finally fit you.
David, but I just got this blonde. This is 160 count, and it feels like
very, very.
I would take the blonde suit off before the
Okay.
Somewhat lugubrious. I would have expected you to be wearing Kelly Green.
Absolutely, and I debated wearing my green suit, but then I thought it might be. I think that people might say, you know what? If I didn't watch it, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. Just watch this. Is this the Valdez Scantling? Is this Valdez? No. Oh, it's the Travis.
Best Russian in football.
Had she gotten back on the plane, the whole result would be very different. The eons tour, right? She's in Brazil. So he is it's like Samson, like no hair to go. And the brother look good.
That's a block of television. That's well done.
No, I just still wouldn't know what Helen Toner knew. It's too much to ask. When you put out a statement, all right,
Get her on the phone.
basically says
Somebody get Helen.
the guy's a serial liar. I mean, who knows what the statement is? And wasn't it lawyer? How about a lawyer? Let's get a lawyer in here. Let's get boys.
Of course.
You hate this damn suit. Darn suit, whatever.
You don't like my haircut.
This was the freebie suit running with the other side.
Not just morning, since last night, man. I knocked out trying to stay up and catch this, because I'm like, I knew it was gonna get a little somewhat of a retracement, but
Speaking of suits, we're going to get to all the retail earnings that we got today.
On the field.
Exactly.
Some others. We'll get Nvidia tonight after the bell.
Okay, alright. So I just entered into a short on ES at 45.50.25. I have an ad at 45.55 even. Nah, I'm not looking for no longs on NASDAQ. I know we have FMOC today, so I'm going to be trading pretty light, and all day today I'm just going to be trading the micros. So I might do like 10, 20, 50, 60 micros. But I'm not going to be trading the minis today. Nope. Only just entered short on ES on this little pop to 45.50 and change. If it comes up to 45-55 area, I have an ad there. And again, it's the micros, so I can literally continue to add. I do think we're gonna end up having a pretty decent pullback before the FMOC minutes come out. Yo, so the decision is going to be December 12th, December 13th, right? You know what happens 3 days after that? The current contracts that we're trading expires. So soon as those rates comes out, bro, I am praying that they raise rates, bro. Yo, you don't know how bad I want that. Like, yo, they raise rates, dude. Yo, I'm going full margin short. Yep, Nvidia earnings after 4 p.m. today. I did end up closing my swing position on Nasdaq, minus 4K on that, so not too bad. And once Nvidia earnings comes out, and once we have the Fed minutes today, I'll look to reposition myself. But now what I want to do is I'm going to go off of the 1 hour time frame. So on Nasdaq, I want to see several closes below 1650. So right now we're at it, but truly we would have to break and close below 15,800. So once I see a nice close below 15,800 or 15,850, I'll start repositioning myself, because looking at the downside on Nas, going back, what, 3 weeks ago. We go back 3 weeks ago, and we're looking at a slide all the way down to yeah, we're looking at a slide all the way back down to 14 and change.
So I can see it. This thing, which is right now we use for baseball, can be used for every sport. I think they're utilizing it. They repurchase 3.5 million shares. So they've got great technology. They've got fantastic
yeah, bro.
And they're just these look like the old days. Carl, these numbers look like what happened.
Not right now. Not right now.
Same store sales going for you. Great back to school season. This was a quarter fourth quarter. This not as much.
It's not as good as the pre-market gain for Burrow.
Well, Burlington puts this thing in. Oh my God, David, you will absolutely love this.
Of course.
Burlington, you're reading it, it's not good. And then they say the first couple weeks of November, it got cold, big no. Now, it's still Burlington Coat Factory. They're not coats anymore, but they did tell you that November, they were hurt.
Yeah, so the drop would be down to 14,267.69. But yeah, so I'll be looking to reposition myself for that. Yeah.
That's what we needed from Burlington.
We mentioned yesterday.
I mean, we'll see. Because again, I mean, literally, if they, for example, if they were to raise rates by like 50 basis points next month, or even if they raise in December, because the market's expecting them not to raise. So even if they were to raise, we could see a nice 400, yeah, maybe like 400 or 500 point drop, and I may not catch the full move like right out the gate, but I'm gonna catch most of it. At least a movement maybe back down to 15,000 all day. But I need to see a close below 15,850 on a daily. Like, I need a daily to close below that. I get a close below that, then I'll start scaling back in. And yeah.
I'm aware. I never thought you've ever done it yourself.
the true statement.
But other than that,
David, it's not
oh,
thumbtacks.
I will take what I
But I do
can
think that you
get.
do have a reason to own this thing, which is that I think that Marv Ellison has historically
Order filled.
things are right. You have to wait for it to go down a little bit. By the way, Walmart was the best one of all. Walmart was great, and everyone looks back and just say, "Well, you know what? That was too."
Yeah, I was looking at that on the monthly. I was looking at the monthly level, and I'm like, yo, we're really not that far from the highs. So I marked it off. So I marked off 16 3 390.95, which was another reason why like I took the loss on the Nasdaq swing, because I'm just like, okay, like this thing can possibly spike over 16,400, right, and create a lower high and then start sliding. So yeah, so I like, bro, I was going in yesterday. I was like, all right, well, if by this morning we get a little retracement, close to 16K, I'll close out. I'll take the L, and then I'll look to reposition myself. But yeah, cause this thing could, yeah, and I'm about to start going off of my weekly levels too, bro. It's a wrap. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right,
Yep.
let's get to a mad dash. I'm going to share this one. We're going to talk about VMware. Of course, we've been following this closely for some time.
Yeah.
Broadcom wouldn't get the approval it needed from the antitrust regulator in China. SAMR is the acronym. They got it. And the deal will close tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. That's another thing that hasn't really happened. Like we haven't really seen the tax selling yet either. Uh
It was political. They seem to have put the process on hold from what we can now gather.
And then they had the fabled dinner, David.
And then they had the dinner last week, and they got the approval. Jim, there are some people asking, well, why is the stock down? Remember, we've talked a lot in the last couple of weeks about all these investors being locked into their election. They had to make an election weeks ago, cash stock. And so if you buy the stock now, all you get is the cash. The cash is 142. So there's hardly any stock trading because everybody's locked into their election, except for those who didn't make it. That's the cash value. That's all that is. That's why the stock is down. It had been up a bit above the cash value because of the hope that you might have an extension. They might reopen the election, and what that would be.
Well, I looked at this. Top 10, Broadcom, symbol ABGO, Yobago, sells at 23 times earnings. This company grows, okay, VMware grows much faster, all right? So it's inconceivable to me that 2 days later, with all the love for Octane, that everybody doesn't raise numbers and also say or raise expectations, because you have a company that's growing.
What, the one from this one from yesterday about?
And then you add this
Yeah,
latest
the guy from AI.
to the cloud AI, you have a one-stop solution to be able to get your company in. And don't forget, NVIDIA does report tonight, so yeah, you can sell it down.
Bro, 500 people threatening to leave AI if he doesn't come back yet. Like, that would put AI basically out of business. Like, yeah, that's the.
So like, let's look at a profit. I don't think there's anything.
Nope.
And I think Octane's going to lay out a vision that would be fantastic.
All right. Well, deal closes tomorrow, so it's the last time you're going to see a quote on VMware is today. We got an opening bell about 6 minutes away. Don't go anywhere. And by the way, you can always catch us anytime and anywhere by listening to and following the Squawk on the Street Opening Bell podcast.
But Microsoft also owned like 49% of OpenAI. So yeah, that shit is just like. That'd be that'd be some that'd be some, yeah. Plus, yeah, yeah, yeah. Good morning, good morning. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Word. Okay, so looking at the daily level, so on a daily level, I mean, we took out 16,045. We're back underneath that. Let's see what we get. We're at 3 minutes. Oh, excuse me. Got 3 minutes to open, but yeah. So I got some levels marked off where, for at first, I do want to see Nasdaq close below 15,850 or 15,800 even. Second place that I would look for Nasdaq to close under to confirm that we're heading back down would be 15,679. Once we get a daily close below either one of these levels, I mean, it's game on. So yeah, so I'm gonna see if we do pop and we don't make a new high today. I'll look to take a scalp, but I'm only gonna be trading the micros today because we have FMOC and we might just stagnate until then, and then we have Nvidia earnings at the end of the day, and I think Nvidia is probably gonna pop to like 550, 560. Right, these last few weeks, man, I just played this market completely wrong. I remember after I came back from New York, I was like, yo, like Nvidia to like 560, and but by the end of the year, and I didn't even pick up any calls when the shit was like at under 410. Do you trade bond auctions? No. I don't trade the bond auctions, but I do watch for when the bond auctions do happen because that does affect the market. Today, yeah, I'm looking for a short. So I'm looking for a possible bounce to short. So on ES, well, so first let's go on NQ. NQ, I'm looking for a possible bounce to like 16,075 for a possible short, maybe 1650. We'll see. But on ES, I do have a limit sell order. I have a sell order limit at 45.55 even. I did enter a position at 45, 50, 25, but I did close that out and just want to wait for this open and see. So less than 50 seconds to go. We have massive. Yes, we are. Ooh, gold.
With those Perlman last night on Mad Money.
He said, listen, I want you to find a list of 100 companies. You can always just Google it. So I got my phone, I Google the top 100 companies. And he said, I want you to think of one of the 100. And I said, I thought of Nike. And then he wasn't even in the room. He was not in the
Okay,
room.
nice bounce so far. Don't know if it's gonna go anymore. Come on.
He did something amazing. He told Regina Gilder, his producer, she said, I want you to think of someone. And it was her child's pediatrician, and he got that. You know, it's very scary. He's not of this world. It's not the devil.
Remember the David Blaine?
No, I've seen, well, compares his rodents, but I have seen Blaine do some things that were really cool.
That was incredible. What times?
It's like any other time you want to play.
ABC Real-Time Exchange is the big one. It's your exploration company, Next Gen Energy, and the NASDAQ Rich Tech Robotics, celebrating a recent IPO, doing the honors. Is it AI?
NASDAQ is sliding. Oh, ES is about to break.
Order filled.
Marketing in on ES short. Entries at 45, 48, 25.
Country and not have to have your hands on the wheel. But David, I think we've seen the high water mark of the we can have driverless.
No.
And
We're going to have driverless. Don't tell that to Elon.
Waymo doesn't. Where's Waymo?
I mean, Cruise is absolutely a setback for GM. You were talking about it yesterday, talking about it today. There's no doubt. But this is just a speed bump on the way to
A speed bump that they can't make ethical choices about whether to kill someone or whether
it was about ethical choices, wasn't it?
well, there's also I mean
Just get
one
stuck
of the
at the
things-
intersection because they can't get the left.
The one thing examined was I think not at all full. Actually, almost none of these are full car. And
Right,
there's so
hit
many.
and run.
Yes,
Nothing.
no,
So it
no.
does go to prove the point, which is, would you rather have a human or a machine?
Well, that's why I like Kyle, and I rode with Kyle, who's now gone from it. But I think that it's an unfair comparison versus humans. Humans make so many mistakes. So we're hot or
So we're going to hold the machines to zero mistakes? Is that what it is?
Yes, but
Until they
what-
get there, we're not going to allow the transition to
Right.
occur.
I'm not making a judgment about whether we should or shouldn't, because I think we should, because I think they're far safer. But I do think that the optics, David, often does matter in terms of what can happen. And it was a huge setback for GM because they spent billions on this.
Yes.
And I think that this whole segment that we put up is so challenged right now, other than Tesla putting out the Model 3,
Yeah.
which I think will matter.
And of course, he continues to talk about full self-driving coming around the corner. Now, by the way, he's been talking about that for years, that being Elon Musk. At some point, he may well be right. They do have an enormous amount of data at Tesla, obviously.
Well, I mean, remember just at Jensen Wong, because I wanted to work things around him because the reports tonight. You know, he was running millions of simulations about how to handle black ice last time, 2 times ago I was out there. And there's just these dilemmas that would be dilemmas for people who are driving cars. Black ice are dilemmas for self-driving. But the self-driving is held to such a standard that we're critical of it, whereas we all know, I mean, I once had an accident in black ice. I couldn't tell it was black ice for him saying I hit a mailbox. I mean, anything could hit a mailbox. Anything could hit it.
Speaking of cars, GM with an announcement a moment ago, they're going to have a business update next week following the ratification of these new labor agreements in the U.S. and Canada. Jim, gas prices now down 15%. Now, normally we get a decline this time of year, but this will be the 6th largest decline for this period of the year since 2015.
I just find this is an amazing time. That there's so many. There was a terrific Bank of America piece today of looking at
Savita?
Yeah. By the way, I think Savita.
Nice.
We talk about Mike Wilson, and we don't talk about Savita. I mean, this person has got a piece today which has more charts and more thought involved in it about why we can get to 5,000. Sometimes I wish that I could just say everyone turn to it. I know if you're not banking research, you may not be able to get it, but they're a brilliant piece, and it really talks a lot about sentiment, admittedly, but a lot of it is just look, people are not where they have to be, where they're not where they need to be positioned, which is the broader market. And I found it to be so commonsensical that I just say, you know what, I could see another run. Very good piece. Yeah. Well, of different stocks is not. Because there's not enough short base anymore on the Magnificent Seven.
Instead of the 7 stocks that I want to just talk about.
Our new show, The Magnificent Seven.
By the way, I think I'm doing it pretty. Somebody's going to take this. The show is called 7 Stocks.
The theme music's been written for like 50 years.
The show is 7 Stocks, and that's it.
Oh,
And you talk
Dow.
only about the
Dow
stocks
just
that
flushed.
caps on them. I wanted to just see because I knew like 11.8 trillion in market cap. Apple, Amazon, Meta, Alphabet, Nvidia,
I don't know. Come on. Don't want to see nonsense as yesterday. Good flush.
Like half of a U.S. economy, basically.
Can we get the same energy on ES? That would be quite lovely.
By the way, guys, speaking of one of them, I think I mentioned last week that Bezos was selling stock. You didn't say that, right? He was.
Right.
Not much. But again, this goes to size. And just to give you a sense, he sold 1.673 million shares of Amazon last week. That netted
Oh man.
$1 million.
Sucked over.
Because he does have another 988 million shares behind that. That's worth about $4 billion. But I pointed out last week when I heard he was selling some stock, at least, that, I think he may have changed residence now to Florida, so for tax purposes, he hadn't sold because of Washington, certain tax policy that would have hit him there. Now he can do it, and he has. So, I mean, don't worry about Jeff.
Have a little diversification. It's not a bad idea. All right, so here's some.
By the way, he gave half to McKinsey.
This is just horrible.
Everybody's calling it force.
It's like, bro, breakout or drop, man.
Let me explain it. Can I explain you how that works? Can I explain you the concept of divorce? Maybe you're not familiar with the concept of divorce.
Nice bounce on Tesla.
She's giving it to like
Not much. Bounce on Nvidia as well. Apple's a little red on the day. Meta looks top heavy. Microsoft as well. AMD dropping.
I need to get, because of the closest to Thanksgiving and the kind of goodwill feeling, David,
Whoa, Amazon. Shit.
I don't know, Jim. I don't know.
Yeah, bro. Straight nosedive. Alright, so Amazon's nosediving on the day. Netflix, not much, but definitely looking to go red, further red on the day. AMD as well, looking like it could get under 119. Microsoft as well. Meta. 1 hour Meta looks top heavy. There we go. Okay, ES is finally dropping. Here we go. Let's see if we can at least retest the 200 EMA on a 15-minute time frame.
Great stage. Just fit 16. And obviously had a career that spanned so many decades into it.
So you can't help me with who would be Lena Khan, who would play Lena Khan?
I don't know, Jim.
No, I can't.
You haven't mentioned Lena in at least a few shows.
Yeah, that says something, actually.
Oh, you got long?
Among the retailers, we didn't
Okay.
mention Best Buy, which is a beat. Tom Smith, though, and they
Yeah, starts getting out of them long-term positions, locking some profits. And you just see, damn, bro.
I mean, it's almost as if everybody in America bought a TV during COVID, and the last thing they need is another TV. And I think that that's also washing machines. We all seem to have bought washing machines that work for them.
Freaking gold.
What? I'm texting somebody. Well, it's what we do during the show. Our viewers communicate with us. We communicate with them during the show. If you got something to tell me, feel free.
Was it about the game?
It's all
Because we're not
value
about
add.
the game. I don't want that.
Oh,
No,
wasn't
anyway, Whirlpool had a really miserable quarter. Stocks come back. But we're
Excuse me.
Moderna and Whirlpool, David, what do they have to do with each other?
Nothing.
We used enough of them during COVID. We don't need them anymore. Okay, so let me throw in another that we used enough during COVID. We don't need them for Zoom.
Zoom.
No matter what Zoom does. I mean, Zoom is like I thought delivered a good quarter.
Yeah.
Stock was up 5, then up 2, now 3, down 3.
What was the
Because it's
market
Moderna.
cap on this company?
540?
No, the market cap was way into the hundreds.
Oh no, I'm saying the stock. Wasn't the stock
Right.
at 540?
Might have been.
Let me get it.
540. Give me a full thing. Yeah. So there it is. All right. Ooh, baby.
It was the top was 500 and
Bro, nosedive.
60.
Nosedive.
But look, the problem with anybody, whether it be Pfizer,
What the hell?
whether it be by the way,
Yeah, $166 billion.
okay, that was kind of, let's call it overvalued. DocuSign never came back. I mean, the only one that's come back, I keep wanting to give him a Jeopardy thing because I just feel that haircut, maybe it's a Jeopardy haircut. David, Roku has managed to come back. That's the one. Maybe that's because it's.
Yeah, I'm really not liking this right here, so I might just kill this trade.
He's very mild mannered. It's a new fellow in there. Is really cool. President of production. Everybody loves him. I'm off it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I'll get it for you.
Okay, please do.
But that's the truth. If you did great during COVID, it doesn't matter. It's like you're tapped out. And look, I thought Moderna did great, but it didn't deliver with the anti-cancer vaccines.
So it's not come back yet?
Well, you bought a washing machine. You don't need another washing machine.
You don't need it.
Okay, so not really much action so far,
Mine
man, bro.
sings to me when it's done. There's nice chimes. You can program for like Bob Brahms.
Although, Jim, there was a period where we weren't going to the hospital for surgeries. Medtronic was up 3
I
pre-market.
thought that was good to see. And now Medtronic has to diversify because we know we got, these are one of the GLPs. Let's not talk about the GLP can hurt their business because your heart is
This
stronger.
is whack.
And they've got a big heart franchise. But it's good to see Medtronic doing better. A couple of years ago, Jeff Martin took over, and there's just they haven't been able to pick up share in that space. But if you look at Edwards Life Science, good, he's going to be on. He's a good guy. Edwards Life Science. I always thought it was interesting. Did people really put off open heart surgery? I mean, David, open heart surgery. They put off open heart surgery.
It's hard to put that off.
But they did. They elected to put it off.
It's not elected.
No.
You can't elect not to.
Also, I mean, sadly, a lot of people who had that. Some of these diseases died because they did not tend to.
That's right. Medtronic does raise the guide a little bit. Full year now 475.
They have to do more. I don't know who's interviewing, but I thought
Very
they made some
whack,
great
man. This
brain
price
initiatives,
action is
and I worked with them when I
atrocious.
was the spokesperson for the American Brain.
Like, yeah, I don't know what y'all want to do.
The banks continue to be quite weak. Overall, the year it's been kind of weak the last few weeks of the year. It's,
A little bit.
Violating this bear trend.
And how about First Horizon, a major top 5 Canadian bank? It's bids 25 for First Horizon, then walks away. We don't even know why because it's never been said. And the stock's at 12 with a 4.9% yield.
Tesla's the only one positive on the day so far.
How is that possible? How could that stock be at 12?
How about
And
Katie
yet,
Huberty today?
yes,
It's down
Nasdaq are
a
not
nice chart
plummeting.
on
Like,
how
come on, bro.
Commercial real estate prices, in their view, are progressing. The declines are progressing better than our expectations.
Well, I mean, look, someone called me last night for SL Green, and I looked it up to the lighting round. I said, wow, that stock hangs in well. They've got some very good properties in Midtown. I mean,
they've got some really good ones. They've got a lot of ones that are Bs that are nowhere.
you could try to get an office in the Boston Properties building. I think it's doing
So
incredibly
Greens, there are part of some of the new developments that have done extremely well. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, look, I continue to say, okay, where is the bad commercial real estate?
Ooh, where's it at now?
A lot of it's owned by individuals who made
You're not
bets,
trying to get it?
and not as many are owned by Wells Fargo, which is really
But
kind of
it's not,
disruptive.
yeah, but it's not recourse to the individuals, so they just give the buildings back. Banks don't want the buildings back.
That's true.
They can afford it.
Well, yeah, there's one in Philadelphia right now.
Okay.
They took it. You know, of course, they're just trying to get rid of it as fast as possible, but they're takers. 17-story building right
Gotcha.
in Ridgedown Square.
We still have a long way to go to work our way through this.
Well, but
Hell
Tiny
yeah,
is
that's a lot.
Yeah, thanks for that.
I'd probably look to do like leap year calls on Eli Lilly, if anything.
Then hiking, first time that's been true since January of 21.
Well, I'm telling you, these are all things that, like the Bank of America piece, there's just
Mhm.
a lot of good happening, and we're just kind of trying to deal with the fact that things are good.
Order
and
filled.
bad for so long. We're almost conditioned for things to go bad.
Right?
I mean, look, Broadcom was down today.
Adding to ES, we're starting to pick up a little bit.
Okay, so let's think about VMware.
There we
said it
go.
has a
There
20
we
PA.
go.
Broadcom has a
Ooh,
20
good
PA.
ad. Good
Broadcom gonna
ad.
get a 30 PA.
Let's see if we can get a retest of
And then
this
next thing you know, you got stock at 12.
45, 44 area,
See exactly what I just said.
which
It
is
was
the
8
200 EMA on the 15-minute time frame.
Upgrades of the sector. We've seen upgrades of Intel. We got ADI this morning, Jim. Inline guides was a little soft, but autos were okay.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is an Internet of Things play, and if you wait 4 days,
Like,
that's
I'm
not
sick
gonna
of
be
your
up to-
shit.
The only one that Internet of Things didn't really come
Bro,
back is
you,
one cent,
yo,
which
you
is
have
such a good
no idea how, like,
just
like I'm sure you do, like how mentally draining this market has been.
Those are the companies that are most secular.
Like, bro, it's been so mentally draining. Like, I'm like, yo, I need a vacation, bro. Like,
568.
Thank you.
There's O's, okay?
568.
468 is me. I don't know. I mean, look, I think that Nvidia is just run 100.
there we go.
Jensen
You
is.
just have to give up
gonna
on
buy things
understand.
probably
Oh, I've been gave up on trying to understand this market, man. There's a lot of times that it's literally just
But he does not.
erratic, illogical. So I mean, that was something I learned very early on. Like, this market cannot be rational at times. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. Trying to like understand it every single cycle, every single time I have you jumping off the walls.
Okay, think about
So
that. Chipotle, they've raised price. They haven't lost anything. Paplar, that's trucks. With the old Dominion read-through is fine. We're seeing these are all read-through
yeah,
names. Where you really want to say, maybe I should
I'm gonna leave oil alone for a bit.
you know,
Like,
doing well.
I'm just gonna chill out, man. I was like, I'm literally gonna chill out, like, during the New York session, man. Unless like I get like a really clear direction and there's no BS manipulation, bro. Like, I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna be waiting till like late in the evening, and London session to snag my wins. And when I come to New York, I'm just gonna trade the micros, like, at least until I get the confirmation break. Once I get that confirmation break, then it's like, I bet.
But people want to turn the Fed cuts into something nefarious.
I mean, she's talking about, look, we beat inflation. There's just, her piece, no music. I'm going to finish. This is really important. Her piece is really about very common sense things. No euphoria. Thank you for bringing this up. No euphoria. Goldilocks. Earnings per share can accelerate even if the GDP slows. It is an election year, which tends to be good. And then listen to this. Triple play. Globalization, oil, and baby boomers. $80 trillion coming to the market. Play the music down. I don't care. I'm done. Okay, give me the music.
That's an old Yardeni.
Because I know when this drop comes, it's gonna come at an odd hour.
Yeah. And Kelsey. Travis Kelsey.
That's a bullish sign.
Finally lost to his brother.
Yeah, wasn't that great? By the way, there's a good Christmas album.
I didn't want. You guys only lost to one team.
Well, Hertz has beaten her 13 straight teams.
I might take one off here on ES.
I bet Jason Hurts.
Take some.
Training camp, and it was so intimidating. I didn't know what to say. I mean, excuse you, can I help you? I said, I can't say anything. He's like, well, Fibio. I mean, he's the most impressive young man I've ever met. Just impressive. He wants to lead you to greatness.
All right, you proved it last night, man. That was incredible. Congrats.
Second half.
Yeah,
when
Gold's been
Back
pushing.
After first half, that was just
And
horrific.
under duress for much of the game.
Yeah, it was just it was a great game.
Check out bonds today. We will get existing homes in a few moments, and then of course Fed minutes this afternoon. Get a little more clarity on that last meeting. But as David mentioned, 10-year 4.4. We're watching the bear trend line with the Dow down almost 90.
What do you want to do? Yes. They literally might keep the markets held down here or in this range, bro. I mean, we have FMOC today at 2 p.m. So, hey, man. There we go. What do you want to do? They are really testing us this morning. Dow's reversing. Oof, that was. Mm-mm. What you say? You got a meeting in a few? What's that? Mm-hmm. Burnt. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Friday. Watching crude today in the red. Multiple reports say that we are looking at a potential maybe 4 or 5 day pause in the fighting between Israel and Hamas. Perhaps some hostage releases. Political points out it would be the biggest diplomatic breakthrough of the war so far. On the other hand, got an OPEC meeting coming up, and we do expect an extension of some of those supply cuts. Dow's down 65. Stop trading with Jim is coming up next.
Roger that. Oh, this is just disgusting action, man. Goodness. Oh, it's popping. Definitely holding that 77 area. But I ain't messing with it. I ain't messing with it yet. Still haven't added 55 even. Okay, see. Yeah. BZ and HO. Yo, half hour, same freaking range. May get some action late this afternoon.
off.
Okay, see ya.
Let's get to Jim and stuff.
David's got some news and good news. It's terrific. I story. So very excited.
Well, we might have a minute to share.
Key upgrades. Key raises price target. CrowdStrike 202 point. They report next week. I only pointed out because Palo Alto came all the way back. I think CrowdStrike's going to work and work big, even though it's up about 100% already. David, the stock. My chap just has a gigantic position in Amazon, so I'm really, really low.
Well, you know, we talked earlier. Again, last week I mentioned that I was hearing Bezos was in the market selling stock. That ended up being correct. He did file his Form 4s. As we reported earlier, Bezos sold about 1.67
Home sales at 10.
million
Let's see
shares
what we
last
get.
week, 15th and 16th. But what I'm hearing is he's aggressive today as well. Again, this is traders, you know, maybe selling as many as another 8 to 10 million shares. Like, that's, again, spec, but he's clearly in the market. That would be $1 billion worth of stock. He sold 244 million. That would be a lot more than that. Well, if he sold 10 million shares, it's, yeah, you could do the math, right? He's selling a lot of stock. He's got a lot of things going on. A lot of stuff to fund.
I mean,
by the way, again, to remind people, he still had 888 million shares behind the shares he just sold. So
and the volume is such that I really think that in many ways, if you're selling it because you think he's selling it, that's kind of foolhardy. It's doing very well, but I understand it.
But it may be having some impact on the market today.
Yeah,
that's a big number for.
No, it is. That's why I wanted to bring it up because my trust owns it. And I feel like it's going to get hit. I am surprised that Kohl's is down since the CEO is saying right now that there's some potential positive comp stores in 2024. I think Kohl's should be up on it, not down. They have a really terrific CEO, Kingsbury. So there's a lot of stuff going on. I think that stock should be higher.
What's up tonight?
Well, I've got a company called Schneider Electric there. I get a feel of the economy. And then HP, a lot of people feel the next PCs are going to actually have a refresh that has a lot of AI in it. So let's find out. Then I'll find out whether Letter X has been, it's really cut their sales. That they're advertising Letter X.
It's not Letter X.
What is it?
Letter X is U.S. Steel, right?
Yes.
Twitter, you know, whatever you want to call it.
But whenever I make a note of, I got to make sure it's not U.S. Steel.
Not much, my G, nothing much. Same old, same old.
That may be coming very quickly.
Yes,
They're getting
exactly.
close, especially if U.S. Steel gets sold very soon at a nice price.
We got to go. But this was fun. Why do we have to go? I mean,
Trust their ass.
why do I have to go?
No, we got
At the end of the game, I mean, you think that Hurts did want to play in the next few days?
we got Nvidia.
Bad money, 6 p.m. Eastern time.
We have Nvidia earnings later today.
You know, keep talking.
All right, I got it. Yeah, fine. Great. Let me just go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right now I'm just in shorts on ES. I'm looking, yeah, I'm looking to see if we can retest the 45, 43, which is looking like it. I saw, I saw she was holding. Mm, 50, 50, so, mm, let's see. Two trades, first one top red, second back, and then reimbursement of this process. Watching ESC if it reacts. They didn't really say much about the home sales. I mean, couldn't have been that good if the market's still dropping. Come on.
David Faber, live for you from post night of the New York Stock Exchange. Take a look at stocks this morning. It's a little bit under pressure, nothing extreme. Dow's down about 78 points. S&P down a third of 1%. Overall, though, the trend has been higher as far as what's working inside the market. Materials and healthcare are two sectors that are green today. Everybody else is red. Under pressure the most, you've got groups like energy, consumer discretionary, and technology. That's why the NASDAQ is selling off a little bit harder. It's down 0.6%. We are 30 minutes here into the trading session. Here are some movers we're watching. Slew of retail names, either surging or plunging on the back of their latest earnings and outlooks. We're going to break it all down for you this hour, but there's a taste of some of the moves. Dick's Sporting Goods up 11%. Kohl's is down 11%. Plus, Medtronic delivering better than expected numbers for the fiscal second quarter. The company also raising its full year outlook, expecting strong sales in its surgical and diabetes units. And then watch Broadcom VMware, China approving the $69 billion merger. The deal is set to close tomorrow.
Getting existing homes. Let's get to Diana Olick with that. Hey, Diana.
Hey, Carl, existing home sales in October
There
dropped
we go.
4.1% month to month to a seasonally adjusted annualized rate of 3.79 million units.
Yeah,
That's according to the
currently,
National Association of
currently
Realtors.
on
Sales down
in front of the
14.6%
hour
year
or
over year.
so.
That's a big miss. The street was looking for a smaller drop to 3.9 million.
I ended
And
up
this is the lowest
I ended up
sales pace
taking the
since
L
August
on
of
my
2010.
Nasdaq swing this morning. Probably could have held off a little bit. Because I'm looking at the daily and the weekly, and NQ could still pop like another 300-400 points. So I'm just like, let me take the L. If it pops another 300-400 points, I'll be able to look to take some shorts at the highs, or even if it was to make a new high, so I can reposition myself much better. And plus, like, these contracts, like, they're gonna expire on the 15th of this month, so it's like either way, if it didn't like fully play out, I was gonna have to close it out anyways. So took the L, but yeah, that weekly, like, if you take a look at a weekly candle, bro, like, shit looks retarded. So weekly, Yeah. Yo, what's crazy is like had had the whole like the whole thing was right there on the weekly. So from that the week that we closed red at the lows of 14 2 and change, and then the following week we had a very nice bullish engulfing candle that cleared out two previous weekly candles, right? So at the close of that, which the close of it was 15171, literally from there it was probably like, yo, a nice should have taken the long, risk 50 points, maybe 100 points to make an additional 500-600 points, and this shit ran a full 1,000 points up. And now what's it, so yeah, so right now where it's at, like we did hit a little resistance at 16,054. So if this weekly candle can close below that, we could see a decent retracement, possibly down to 15,679. So the next few days, like I want to see a close below 15,800 or 15,850 to then possibly start scaling in. But when I scale in, I'm going to scale in the following contract. So right now we're currently on, it's NQZ. Yeah, so NQZ 23 in another 24 days it expires. So I'll be looking to trade or scale into NQH 24. So that way I won't have to deal with the contract rollover. Yeah. So yeah, so I'm like, yeah, I can't believe I just missed that on the weekly chart. Bro, massive reversal. Like all those areas that I scaled in, sure, got like I did take in some profits and stuff like that, but nothing compared. Like I did end up, I gave up mostly profits from my principal, not much. But yeah, like I'll probably say like principal maybe like less than 2%. So yeah, so nothing that I can't recoup in a day or two. Bruh, disrespectful, man. And you know what's crazy? Like before that drop, dude, like I was targeting the 15,009 and change, like, and what was it? Last month? Yeah, like end of last month. I closed out my long position. Like I was trying to swing a position, but I was like, you know what, like about to do a payout and stuff like that. I'm gonna do a withdrawal, so I was like, let me just close out every position, and I closed. And bro, biggest mistake ever, because on ES I had a cost average of, was it 41.79 was my cost average on ES, bro. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And this just in from Coles, guys, on the conference call, going to be very aggressive in terms of promotions during the holiday season. All of this adds fuel to the overall macro view.
Level top on the 30-minute, on the hourly 30, but yeah.
And there's a great chart from Joe.
The short was last night.
This morning in his note, just showing how the expectations have changed in the last few weeks as far as Fed cuts. There is now not a 0% chance that the Fed cuts in March, and that there's a 75% chance that they cut in May.
Meantime, we've been on the lookout for headlines regarding the Israel war. For that, we're going to turn to Eamon Javers in Washington. Morning, Eamon.
Good morning, Carl. NBC News is reporting now, according to a senior U.S. official and a source familiar with talks in the region, that a tentative deal
deal has been reached between the United States and Hamas to release hostages held in the region. That deal could be announced as soon as today, Carl. And according to the reporting that we have here from NBC News, what the deal involves is about 50 women and children hostages being exchanged for about 150 Israeli-held Palestinian prisoners in a first phase of the deal. The numbers here are all subject to change, and this deal is being described to us as very tentative at this point. Could fall apart at any moment, but at least for now, the thinking is that this deal could be announced as soon as later today. According to the source familiar with the talks in the region, Israel would choose which Palestinian prisoners it would release pending a security check, and the deal would include the suspension of overhead drone flights for up to 6 hours per day so that Hamas could consolidate the remaining hostages. Some hostages, of course, being held by other groups in the region. So a very complicated, multi-part deal, apparently now on the verge of being announced. We'll wait and see what more specifics we can get from the region and from U.S. officials here in Washington. Carl, back over to you.
And the president was sort of hinting at this in San Francisco, saying he was hopeful. Are there any additional details about a potential ceasefire? Some reports say maybe 4 or 5 days, maybe a pause in some of these drone surveillance operations.
Yeah, like I say, one of the key pieces of this is a pause in drone operations so that Hamas could consolidate the hostages who are being held in a variety of different locations, apparently. Hamas would then be able to move those hostages without fear of drone strikes into position to then turn them over. So there would be sort of a ceasefire or at least a pause component to this. But how that all works is still a little bit unclear, and whether this deal can actually come together is still a little bit unclear now. It's being described to us as a tentative deal, possibly to be announced later today, Carl.
And this is, Eamon, you said 50 hostages, women and children. This is out of the 240. Do we know how many are still alive?
We don't have that information right now, and the question is, how those hostages
where are you forming the LLC?
That's information that I don't have right now.
Florida.
And obviously vitally important to the success of this
You
operation.
might need a VP
and President Xi weighed in, saying that all the parties in the conflict should immediately cease fire.
Only because it's like your like the current one that you're trading, like or maybe like get another device or like trade it off of a different device than what you're currently trading, right? Because your IP address can be tracked, right? Just like when you submitted the payout, right? They could see that, yo, you submitted the payout overseas, right? So then you have to like give them documentations to be able, because like right now, like if you've maxed out like your personal self where you only have 20 accounts under you, you're only allowed 20 accounts like in one household, meaning like wherever you currently are based. So like you could only do 20 accounts, and then let's say if someone else in your house wanted to do an account, they wouldn't be able to, right? Because so basically think of it as like per IP address. So if you so if you set up an LLC and you're gonna get accounts under that LLC, like just to make your IP address elsewhere, right? So you can get a VPN and you can make it look like, okay, you're somewhere in America. Like there's like various it might be Florida, it might be California or some shit like that, whatever. But as long as that IP address will change from your current home, and then you'll be able to trade them like while being home. So for me, like I have a VPS on all my devices, both my laptops, my phone, my iPad. So if I'm like, so I'm trading. So I have 20 accounts on my desktop, and then I have my personal on my gaming laptop, right? So my gaming laptop, I throw my VPN on, I make it look like I'm somewhere, like as soon as I turn it on, it changes my IP address from my current one, but I'm still somewhere in the US or whatever. So now I'm able to trade that, and then when I do the withdrawals, when I submit the withdrawals, I do it from the same device that I'm trading off of. So I'll turn the IP address, the VPN again, and then I'll just submit it, because if you're submitting everything under that one IP address, like they're gonna consider that, so you might not be able to get it. So yeah. Yep. So the one that I use is Cyber Ghost, and right now, like they have a deal. I think they have a deal, a promotion deal, where it's like $54 for like 2 years, and for like 2 years. So you pay $54 and you have it for like 2 years.
That's, I think, the core message for our customers.
Out of the many conversations yesterday, some in Silicon Valley are referring
Yeah.
to this open AI governance issue as a Silicon Valley bank.
Yeah.
Not in the sense of, of open AI is going to go away, guys, but in the sense that it's signaling to a lot of different players in the AI ecosystem. You got to think about diversifying. Don't have all your eggs in one AI platform basket. Have your own models. Maybe have something besides what open AI.
Don't you have an iPad?
John, so many things here. I mean, let's start with Microsoft. What they
Yeah,
consider
so all you would have to
access
do is just like if you get Cyber Ghost you get 7 devices. So you can put it on 7 devices. So you put it on your iPad, and you can just literally on your iPad have the dome open where you just execute the trades. You're charting and looking on your laptop when you're traveling, and then you just use the iPad. You just keep the dome up, and then you just execute buys and sells.
Building out AI capability and the perception that Microsoft has this lead. So it really seems to me like Satya Nadella.
Hey, I'm on to their things, man. It's like, oh, this is what we gotta do. It's like, I bet. Mm-hmm.
Working with us, but meantime, others in the industry are trying to argue, hey, you don't want all your eggs in that basket. Go listen to our pitch about what developers can do with our AI tools.
Yeah, well, and obviously Mark Benioff
Yes,
putting an advertisement out on Twitter saying, "Come to us." I said earlier, can't ever discount Elon Musk and XAI, which is trying to build. I mean, these are software engineers that are very valuable. And to your point about SVB, I mean, it's not inconceivable that OpenAI could almost collapse. If they lose all their employees, it's going to be hard for them to stay in business.
And there's a question about who is the dominant force in the ethic of AI at this point. How it gets developed, how quickly, with what safeguards. I asked Nadella about that as well, and he tried to make a strong case that Microsoft is building ethically, not just concerned about making a quick buck.
Ooh, there comes a slide.
Great to get Nadella at that crucial moment. Thank you for bringing us the latest, John Ford. Let's
Like, what do
take
you
a
want
quick
to
break
do,
here.
bro?
Before
Like,
we do,
yo,
we'll give you a
literally
rundown
an
of the rest of
hour,
the
man. The
surrounding
same
sample.
range.
Continues to highlight the divide development.
This.
Google backer Roger Mack.
I'm like, I don't got time for this, but I really do.
Shares trading at all-time highs ahead of earnings
Let's
tonight.
see.
A lot riding
Yeah.
on the results. We'll get you set up.
And shares of Lowe's and Best Buy dropping on the back of their earnings and outlooks. But Dick's Sporting Goods soaring. What the results are revealing about the state of retail and the consumer. Big show still ahead. Stay with us. Dow's down about 70 points.
Going to one of my friends. My godmother called me, invited me over, so I might shoot out to Connecticut. For that, spend a couple days out there and then come back. But I'm not really, I'm not really big on this. I mean, honestly, I just go for the food. It's not like, I mean, yeah, 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 absolutely. Yep. So yeah, nice. Word. Nice. Yeah. I'll be flexing out to Florida on the 27th. So 27th, I gotta flex out to Florida. So be out there in Tampa for a few days. Then come back. See how December plays out, and then be on the lookout for the Fed rate and see what they do. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Facts. Facts, I hear that. And I'm about to. I'm about to close out of this damn short, man. This shit's taking too long.
Order filled.
All out. Yeah, I'm all out of ES shorts. Just not liking this BS.
Welcome back to Squawk on the Street. Best Buy shares falling on mixed results and lowered guidance. Lowe's also dropping. The company cutting its full-year outlook, citing lower than expected do-it-yourself sales. But then there's Dick's Sporting Goods surging after boosting its forecast. Here to unpack all of it is Michael Lasser, UBS retail analyst. He covers all three of those stocks. Buy on Lowe's, neutral rating on Best Buy and Dick's. Michael, it's good to have you. Is it as simple as where Americans are prioritizing their spending right now? They're not buying electronics and home goods, and they are buying, I don't know,
Oh, wow.
sneakers and hockey sticks?
Nice.
I think that's right, Sarah. I think there's a few different
Quick
themes
in and
that are
out.
playing out. Number one is there are certain products that are in demand, like sporting goods, athletic apparel, footwear, especially key brands such as On, Hoka, and certain Nike products that is benefiting Dick's Sporting Goods. The second theme that's playing out, though, is the consumer is having growing apprehension on spending on big-ticket discretionary items. Things like televisions, cabinets, patio furniture. And it got worse from the second to the third quarter. That was evident at Best Buy, Lowe's, and others reported. And then the last clear trend is that retailers are having either decent sales or decent
Oh, yeah,
margins.
look at
They're
that.
having both at this point. So that's probably going to continue for at least the near term. We'll see what happens as we get into next year.
We just got existing home sales, smallest number of transactions of existing homes since August 2010, nearing the lowest since the 1990s. So does that mean that we won't see a bottom in names like Best Buy or Lowe's until housing turns around?
So think about all of the things that come along with getting into a new home. You need to customize the drapes, the cabinets, the flooring, buy a new TV, a couch, a table, chairs. So there's clearly a repercussion to our economy from very low level of housing turnover. That should stabilize as we get into next year. People get divorced, they move, they change jobs. So there is an inherent base level of housing turnover, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to get a lot better from here until most likely we see a decline in interest rates, whenever that comes.
You still a buy on Lowe's? $265 price target? See an opportunity here?
I do see an opportunity here. Lowe's is an objectively inexpensive stock that just rebased expectations to what seems like a very achievable level. That's also going to have an impact lowering expectations for next year. And there's two factors that are really necessary for this stock to work in a meaningful way. One is expectations set to a realistic level, and two, some peak in interest rates that'll influence the multiple. It seems like we're getting closer to both of those conditions being met, making Lowe's a good name builder.
All right, Michael Lasser, thank you very much for your quick take
Have
on
a
all
great
three.
day.
Yeah, you too. I'm sure we'll talk to you before
For
holiday
sure.
shopping. UBS retail analyst Michael Lasser.
What a turd.
All right, we've got the NASDAQ.
I close out and then whoop.
Amazon shares down 2.7%. Have a bit more news on Jeff
We-
Bezos. So
Yeah, we tested the 45, 44. I exited out before it dropped a few more points. Right. Let's take a look at ZL. Oh, that was, yo, That 53.35 buy was not bad. Look at ES sliding. Mm-hmm. Wow. 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 Couldn't have gotten this energy yesterday, huh? As you guys can see, my patience ran out on ES and voila. Terrible. What a slide. What a slide. The disrespect. Look at this disrespect.
Take a look at shares of Amazon or a nice picture of Jeff
Ah,
Bezos. Talk to him
why?
sometime, but it does appear, in addition to selling stock last week.
Okay,
we
we're
had
at
talked to
45
Rick Darcy
40s.
Street last week. I talked
You
about
kidding me?
what I was hearing was he was
You've
selling.
got to
He
be
did.
kidding
He
me.
gets like 5
You
days
have
to
got to be kidding me.
the other day. 1.673 million
Ugh,
shares.
why you
That's
gotta
about
do me
250
like this?
shares. Now behind that, of course, he's still at 988 million shares worth some 144 billion. But what we're reporting today here from some traders is the expectation he's in there selling today, and in fact, perhaps a lot more than just another 1.6 million shares. This is, sort of
Disrespect.
could it be as much as 8 to 10 million?
Disrespectful.
That at least is what some are sharing, saying they think he has actually got an order in to sell. Perhaps not all today, and so there could be some pressure. Because on a daily volume basis, that's not an insignificant amount of stock. By the way, the last time he sold stock, best I can tell, was 2 years ago, November of 21. So you might imagine, given funding that lifestyle that he has and everything else, he might need to sell stock. He does appear to have changed his tax jurisdiction. Remember, he recently talked about moving from Seattle to Florida, and perhaps that may be one reason why he now sees an opportunity, Sarah, to sell some shares. And as you told me during the break, he's getting married.
He's getting married. That's going to be a killer wedding.
That can't be cheap.
He was just.
See the ring she has? I mean, that alone.
Did you see the Vogue spread that they just did?
Did.
Yeah.
Did.
That boy had
Buffed
an
up. She's buffed up. Everybody's buffed. Buffed. Everybody's buffed.
Well, there's a lot of scars. He's also been very philanthropic.
Not nearly as philanthropic as his ex-wife. True. Who was arguably the greatest single philanthropist we've seen.
Well, it's moving Amazon stock. Yeah, down more than 2%. Let's get a news update now with Leslie Kicker. Morning, Leslie.
Good morning, Sarah. In just minutes, Israel's war cabinet will meet as Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says there are developments involving Hamas hostages. According to a senior U.S. official and a source in the region, a tentative deal has been reached. A reported truce is said to include a ceasefire and the release of at least 50 Israeli and international hostages, along with Palestinian women and children detained in Israel. As many as 630 foreigners and dual nationals crossed from Gaza into Egypt today at the Rafah border crossing, according to Egypt's Red Crescent Society. About 36 are estimated to be Americans.
Well, for anyone that held this short, man, good stuff. Good stuff.
And today and tomorrow are expected to be some of the busiest at airports this year, with TSA estimating it will screen 2.6 million people at checkpoints today and 2.7 million on Tuesday. On Wednesday, and more than 55 million Americans tell AAA they'll drive more than to their destination with Wednesday, the busiest day on the roads. Carl, I was at the airport yesterday and it was already pretty busy. So I can't imagine what today and tomorrow look like.
Yeah, we got some weather on the way, at least in the Northeast, Leslie. Thanks, Leslie Biggert. Still ahead, longtime VC, early Facebook and Google investor Roger McNamee will weigh in on the drama at OpenAI, the fallout for Silicon Valley, and the fear surrounding the rapid development of artificial intelligence. We're back in 2.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Alright. This shit's still dropping. Ugh. Man, oh man, the disrespect. I just gotta laugh, man. I just gotta laugh. Like, NQES, like, took all that time, man, and then finally, it's all good. Alright.
Getting a news alert on Ford. Let's get to Phil LeBeau. Phil.
Sarah, take a look at shares of Ford, the company announcing that it is once again going to be putting work back into a battery plant that was planned for Marshall, Michigan, though they are going to be scaling back that project, as they said they were likely to do as they were going through the UAW negotiations due to slightly slower growth in terms of
Slow and
EV
steady.
demand in the U.S., higher labor costs. So as a result, this project, the Marshall battery plant, where they will be making lithium iron phosphate batteries, will have 1,700 workers, not 2,500. We'll have about 40% less gigawatt hours in terms of final production, but it will be, according to Ford, the first plant, EV battery plant in the U.S. that will manufacture lithium iron phosphate batteries here in the U.S. That's important, guys, because these are the lower cost batteries that many believe are the key to lower cost EVs eventually gaining in popularity.
Quick, Phil, are you expecting anything out of this GM update that they announced for next week?
Oh, I think they're going to give us new guidance because remember they suspended guidance during the UAW negotiations, and there are going to be plenty of questions from analysts regarding Cruise and what is the outlook there. Mary Barra has been very bullish on the future of Cruise over the last 2 years, and given everything that has happened, including the resignation of Kyle Vogt, who was the CEO of Cruise, originally the founder, but had been the CEO over the last year or so, last 2 years. I think there are going to be a number of questions regarding Cruise. So look for new guidance and look for an update on what they expect out of Cruise.
That's important. Thanks, Phil. Phil LeBeau. We have been following, of course, the latest on OpenAI today. Our next guest says this is not your typical fight between board and management, but what is typical is the dysfunction. Joining us to discuss, Elevation Partners, early Facebook and Google investor Roger McNamee. Roger, it's great to see you again. Thanks for the time this morning. You make the point that prior to all of this drama, the setup for Microsoft was pretty ideal, and you think they would love to preserve whatever they can of that.
I mean, to me, Microsoft had a perfect situation because they own 49%, which means they have a huge percentage of whatever upside comes from OpenAI. But while the companies in the development where it's burning billions of dollars on, developing products and trying to commercialize something before its time. Microsoft's piece of that was captured in the form of Azure services. So the expenses of OpenAI, Microsoft's revenue, a similar thing was going on for NVIDIA. Now, if Microsoft winds up having to own OpenAI, or at least, employ all the people and have all the expenses, the thing goes from being a short-term positive to a drag on the PN. And on top of that, they lose the liability shield, right? I mean, you've got Disney complaining about the theft of trademarks and stuff like logos and things like that. All of those things go away. And so in the long run, it probably works out to the same thing. But from a Microsoft shareholder point of view, you really want them to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. And I'm pretty sure that's what they're trying to do. I think they're trying to figure out some way to keep OpenAI viable. But as you see, the dysfunction is pretty stagnant.
How important, Roger, is the original, whatever kernel there was, to motivate that Friday afternoon press release and what they said about Sam?
I mean, they're not telling me, Carl. I mean, I look at this thing as, Sam Altman has a long history. He's had fallings out with a number of partners and bosses in the past. And so the notion that there might have been a lack of trust that built up there, that doesn't strike me as surprising at all. But to me, it's also not the key issue here. I think as public market investors, you're really focused on the impact on NVIDIA, the impact on Microsoft. And the situation was perfect before the coup on Friday. The situation right now is way less than perfect. It may not turn out to be bad, but think about it being a little bit like the metaverse at Facebook. Obviously, if there'd been an independent company doing all the metaverse investment, all Facebook was getting paid for was to operate the servers, that would have been a much better deal for Meta than what they have now. And you're effectively going to convert OpenAI into a subsidiary of Microsoft. That would be, in the short run, a bad outcome. But, we're going to have to see, because I watched those interviews with Satya Nadella yesterday, and it's pretty obvious he wants to put Humpty Dumpty back together.
Can we talk about OpenAI for a moment and what this board did here and potentially erasing, I don't even know. I mean, they started, let's call it 86 billion in value to, I don't know where it could be, Roger, if they don't put Humpty Dumpty back together. It is a unique company with a unique structure, and that's why the board was able to act in the way they did. But just give me your thoughts here, particularly because, you've looked at companies like this, investing in them, or at least earlier stage.
Yeah. So, David, to me, this is a really, really
facts. Remember, once you take your hits on her this way, yeah, this gonna be interesting. Creating an alert.
Companies that had no prospect of profits for a decade or more could raise unlimited capital at huge valuations.
If none of you guys have taken profits on ES, I would recommend doing so. We're retesting a breakout area.
OpenAI, they did their deal with Microsoft to create the illusion that rates were still zero. And incredibly, they found some buyers for financing now that were willing to continue to play that game. I personally find that astonishing. The notion that at 5% interest rates, a company like OpenAI, which is years and years and years away from profitability, would be worth a number, in the tens of billions of dollars. It strikes me as, well, from an investor point of view, not a good bet. And, we'll see what happens here. But to me, this is kind of showing the emperor's clothing, and the wardrobe is empty right now. And we'll see. I mean, it doesn't matter how good the product is. Profitability is a long way away.
It's a long way away. I mean, they were having big revenue numbers, though.
Well, we'll see. They're telling you they're having big revenue numbers, right? I mean, I do think with these things, the whole fake it till you make it is a lot about selective disclosure of statistics that are favorable, and perhaps everything really is favorable, and perhaps it will have $1 billion in revenue because of the excitement Microsoft has created. But what is it going to cost them to produce that? Again, you have to look at the use cases for product that isn't designed to be factual. It's designed to be, something that is convincing, that it's plausible, but not factual. And I'm not sure that the use cases for something that's just plausible are all that valuable. I mean, we'll see, but the notion that this is somehow going to radically improve productivity, I find to be a stretch.
But Roger, even if it is, that's what Microsoft is willing to pay for it. And it isn't the bigger issue here that there was a disconnect in the investors like Microsoft and the board, a non-profit governance structure. Do we have to have a bigger conversation about that? And
The answer is
whose incentives are aligned there?
I hear you. So here's the one thing I would point out. Microsoft didn't put up 10 billion in cash last year, right? They gave $10 billion in credits for Azure Cloud Services, which, again, it was they priced it at 10 billion. It'd be really interesting to see what the retail value of those credits actually is, because it was tremendously convenient to OpenAI to say that it was $10 billion worth of value. But the behavior since then, the fact that they're out raising money again, all suggests to you it wasn't really $10 billion worth of value. It was, it's like the old joke about eBay in the 90s, right? The kid comes home and said, I sold Sparky the dog for $1 million. And mom says, whoa, where's the cash? He goes, well, I didn't get any cash. I traded Sparky for $2.5 million cats. And I think there's a lot of that going on here, that both sides want the sticker price to be really high, but we don't actually know that it's high. And we don't really know they're we just have their word for it. And again, maybe it's true, but they wouldn't be the first company to exaggerate if that's what was going on.
What about incremental opportunities for Google, Meta, Amazon? Roger, are there many?
Well, I think this levels the playing field, right? If Humpty Dumpty stays broken, then this is an opportunity for everyone else to catch up. But I think from a Securities and Exchange Commission point of view, it also points out something that's going on in this category that we've seen, which is that companies that have monopolies of huge markets are using their balance sheet to fund startups in adjacent spaces that they want to dominate. And so if you look at the funding of Anthropic, the funding of any of the competitors, it's all the same basic model, that the people who are big beneficiaries of growth in this category, namely NVIDIA and the folks who own cloud services, are providing financing at high values, hoping to then attract cash investors to follow them. And, all with the goal of building giant monopolies where most of the value is captured in the semiconductors by NVIDIA or in the cloud services by Microsoft and others.
Copy that.
And, that's a well-worn path for creating incremental monopoly value. But at some point, you can imagine somebody saying, maybe that's not the best way to develop a fish.
Saying Goliath is winning sort of applies here, that's for sure, Roger. Have a great holiday. Great to chat with you. Thank you.
Still ahead. Mercury and Richmond may go down in luxury spending. Is that here to stay? We're going to take a closer look at
Such a brutal.
specialized part of the high-end consumer with the CEO of Sotheby's.
Let's take a look. Let's take a
Continue
look.
to see a sell-off here. The Dow's down about 100 points. S&P losing
I
4
might be
tenths of 1%.
tempted to
Nasdaq getting
try a
because of
dip
Amazon,
buy
Microsoft,
after the
Nvidia
London
lowering
market
earnings.
closes.
Apple's down as well. Tesla, though, going the other way. Squawk on the street. We'll be right back.
Tesla and Netflix are the only ones positive on the day thus far. So far. Mm, mm.
Welcome back to Squawk on the Street. High-end consumers seem to be slowing their spending on luxury items. The art market also seeing a bit of a dip. The big auction houses saw their New York sales fall 31% from last year, 20% down from 2021. Only one auction house reached $1 billion level for sales, or at least for that week of the season. And that was Sotheby's. Joining us now is Sotheby's CEO Charles Stewart. Charles, you guys did all right in what seems to be a tougher market. I mean, is that a fair characterization?
Absolutely. I mean, we were delighted with the results, as you say, well over $1 billion in the last couple of weeks. Certainly, the market is more discerning, perhaps a bit
Nice
thinner,
bounce
but we
so
saw
far.
bidding from 50 countries and sold over 700 paintings in our art sales last week.
What does discerning and thinner mean, and what is that a reflection of?
I think geopolitics around the world mean that people are distracted. Certainly a lot of the more speculative money has left the art market. I call it a real money, a real collector's market. And you're seeing, work that is fresh to market, very high quality, A plus examples of that piece does extremely well in this market, but other things do less well.
Yeah. You guys will guarantee an overall minimum price, I guess, to secure certain collections that you want to sell. Does that turn out in this kind of a market? Is that a riskier undertaking?
Sometimes we guarantee works for collectors. It's worked out well for us. We manage risk, very well. And oftentimes we'll offer collectors the choice to accept a guarantee or just to work with us on
Nice
a commission or
nice
agency basis.
bounce.
Can we talk about the Lewis Hamilton car?
So my
F1
sell
this weekend?
limit
So that
on
was
ES at
years ago, right? Early
It was-
45,
yeah, it was
55. I'm
Lewis
gonna
Hamilton's
cancel.
2013, first, the beginning of the Lewis Hamilton Mercedes dynasty, the first Mercedes season. And we sold the car in Las Vegas on last Friday afternoon. It set a record price for any modern Formula One car at $18.8 million.
Is that something about the overall market, or is it something F1 specific in terms of fans? How do we
Well,
read
I
that?
think in addition to the art market, which we discussed, on the luxury side of our business, cars, we sold a $52 million 1962 Ferrari GTO last week. That was a record auction price for any Ferrari, followed by this Lewis Hamilton car. We sold the highest value bottle of whiskey or spirits for $2.7 million last week. That was the 1926 Macallan. And 770 barrels of Burgundy
I'm
last
looking
Sunday
for
in
this
France.
possibly
So, I would say
on
across the board,
NASDAQ.
same rules
So I'm looking
apply.
for
There is money out
a
there, there is interest,
retracement.
but it's discerning and it's looking for the best of the best.
Do you think there's a corollary between demand in the art market and what the stock market is doing, or is that historic relationship a little looser right now?
There definitely is. I think that, although I would say that, the last 2 weeks have been very much an affirmation for the art market. I think there was a lot of concern and, about how would these sales do, and to come out, for us, our sales were actually meaningfully up year over year, and year on year, year to date, we're about flat year over year. So these are great results, very healthy results for us. I think very much an affirmation. We're definitely seeing, the sentiment in the U.S. is a important part of the business. Asia's been a little bit quiet. And good bidding from Europe and parts of the Middle East.
I can remember a few years ago, Charles, we were talking about these digital representations that were selling for enormous
Yes.
sums, and you guys were looking at it and I think
Yes.
getting involved. Did that all die away?
The volumes are way down, that's for sure, but it is still there. We sold a piece of digital art for over $6 million a few weeks back. And we definitely believe in, digital art as a genre. It just seems obvious that creators are going to use digital tools and lean into it. Rafik Anadol, what he's done at the MoMA, if you've seen the lobby display there, I mean, there's very interesting things happening in digital art.
And finally, where is much of the art that is being sold ending up? Is it in the Mideast, Asia, sort of, whose homes do I need to go into to see it on the walls?
I'm sure you'll see a lot of it, David, knowing how you how you.
Oh, yes,
travel.
you know me, yes, sure.
Got that right.
It's very global, as I said, in our art sales, 50 countries represented. A lot of it is private collectors. We saw museums quite active as well. I'd say it is, one of the positives of our market is how global, the interest is. We've got over 100 auctions left this year. So
Possibly,
there's still a lot to come.
possibly.
We've got a wine auction in Hong Kong next week that is one of the best collections ever. And that's going to go incredibly global as well. So, we see a lot of global
And
interest.
Sotheby's itself, I mean, I've talked about Drahi a bit being under some pressure in other parts. Is there any chance he would look to sell a part of Sotheby's?
I don't think so. This is a business that has been, very successful. Patrick Drahi acquired it as a business, but also as a passionate collector. It's something that he's very committed to and, sees as a very, core part of who he is and what he does.
Charles, thank you for stopping by, filling us in. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Charles Stewart.
Still ahead on Squawk on the Street, the CEO of Abercrombie & Fitch joins us. Stock down on its latest results. Still a big winner on the year. That's coming up next hour at 11 a.m. Eastern. Plus, if you missed our new CNBC documentary, Inside Track, the business of Formula One, you can now watch it on demand on Peacock. It's there for you. We'll be right back.
Was nice. Ladies and gentlemen, 5 minutes left. I don't know if you guys have any questions, but nice pullback. Be aware that today at 2 p.m. we have the FMOC minutes, and then December 12th we have the Fed interest rate decision. All right, so the FMOC minutes will basically give an idea of what the Feds or where the Feds are leaning towards. So we should see some volume probably before 1:30 leading up to 2 p.m. and then after that comes out. Or it might just be a dry day, right? If the minutes are in line with what the market was expecting from the Feds. So be on the lookout. And yeah, so after 11, I'm gonna take a chill, probably go for a walk or something, hit the gym, and I'll try to jump back on at 2 p.m. or before 2 p.m. just to see, the reaction of the markets for those minutes release.
The popular H100 chip is roughly $27,000 each. Remember, they're buying tens of thousands of these in each data center. But Wolf analysts predict that the next generation GPU, which is out in late 2024, will be twice that price, so roughly $50,000. So even if demand slows, according to them, margins will still be maintained. The other overhang for earnings is China. NVIDIA may be making these workaround chips that are going to be allowed to ship over there, but is that enough to offset the export impact given China contributes 20 to 25% of data center revenues? Lastly, gaming weakness. AMD gaming fell 5% quarter over quarter in September. They're expecting it to decline in December quarter, seasonally, so that could trickle over to NVIDIA. Expect, though, we know there's broader market implications given the AI tailwind for the Magnificent Seven. Goldman Sachs even noted that those seven now account for 29% of the S&P 500 market cap and have collectively captured 73% year to date. So from this earnings report, we're expecting more light on the AI drive forward, given the somewhat dismal CapEx spend that we saw from like Meta, for example, some of the hyperscalers.
Yeah, we'll be watching very closely. Of course, after the close. Christina, thank you. Christina Parts analyst, NVIDIA shares, by the way, down ever so slightly from what was an all-time high yesterday. Squawk on the Street continues right now.
Mm-mm. Ooh, look at the pop. Ooh, somebody's moving. Okay, okay. See, this is how you really feel. Got your number. Yes, I got your number. All right, that's 11 o'clock. London is closed, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be it for me. Nice fade this morning. I'll catch you guys back at 2 p.m. So 2 p.m. I will be back on. And let's see if we can catch, maybe a nice bounce or maybe a continuation down. All right. Catch y'all later.